Bro, what is happening over at Solana, dude? That I just look at it and it looks like a fucking disaster.
It is the most interesting thing happening in crypto right now. I mean, it is just literally, it's like what I mean, for me, we touched on it before the show. It's like for me, this is the first time I've truly experienced like a dystopian future where I don't know what's real. Like I literally don't know what's real. And I recognize I don't know what's real. And so trying to figure out what's happening when Jenner launched that token was really, really interesting because obviously she uses like the TikTok filters, right? And I know the TikTok filters can like throw off the eyebrows or this or that. Like I know that that happens, right? So us trying to figure out as a community what was real and what wasn't was wild, bro. Completely wild.
Dude, it felt like, you know that meme? There's like a meme where it's like a bunch of snipers that have their head have the gun to each other's head, and then there's a sniper, like off into the corner. That's what it felt like watching this whole thing. To me, I thought it was fake the whole time. I think it still is somewhat fake, but it feels like there's 4 or 5 different people scamming each other at the same time. Right? You have, at least from what I've gathered, you have Caitlyn Jenner who's being scammed by some guy named Sahil who's running some sort of like scam influencer ring where I don't even call it a scam. He's basically just manipulating them to use their account. Because the fact that this has been going on now for 4 or 5 days, 3 days or 4 days without any of the accounts being suspended or terminated or anything shows that the people who own those accounts, Caitlyn Jenner, now Iggy Azalea, I think there was like Rich the Kid, whoever, they haven't reported it, right? So obviously there's something to that. And then you have, right, so you have this guy Sahil who's scamming the influencers. And then you have, well, celebrities, I guess. And then you have the celebrities who have no idea what is really what's up from down. They don't know what pumped up fun is. They don't know. They just know meme coins, right? Then you have this guy who's holding their supply, or he snipes the supply in the beginning. And then you have people trying to figure out if it's AI, is it not? And then they're engaging it with the community in a way that a celebrity would have no idea. There's no way a celebrity would know that Polly is a meme coin person, right? Or to engage with Thread Guy. To me, it's just a giant psyop at this point.
Well, I can give some context because I track this very, very closely. I was trying to figure this thing out. And for sure, this guy, what's his name? Sahil, for sure is like a pump and number, right? And so he's the quote unquote dev behind this whole thing. And it's pretty clear that he contacts or gets in touch with these famous people, and he'll launch a token project, an NFT project, and obviously he's taken huge bags for himself, right? So that's for sure happening. Now, how much of that, like with that rich kid or whatever, did he organize it, but then took more for himself? And like, then rich kid said, this is a scam, and then launched his own coin. Like, who knows the details about that, right? But for sure, and we know how to do this as well, he for sure gets like delegate access to their Twitter account, right? Which, as you're a business owner, you know how this works. He can then post from the account, and that's where he gets like the Pauly tweets going out and the tweets to, I don't know, Thread Guy or Anson and all that sort of stuff. That's a heel dude doing those sort of tweets to get engagement. And actually, I think to a degree that the videos were unclear if they were fake or not. I think that actually helped because it drove this engagement of like, Jesus, is this real? Is this fake? Nobody knew. And it blew it up to the moon. I mean, it went to like $40 million market cap before they did this like secondary thing, which was release another token, which was just, oh my God. That's when it was like, Caitlyn put that tweet out, which was like, go buy the Bark token or whatever that was. No ad, no nothing, just put it out like, we're launching another token. Then 5 minutes later, put out a secondary token, deleted the first one and put like the hashtag ad on it. But by then everybody was wrecked. I mean, they just literally dumped like $700,000 in tokens on everybody, right? And that was a straight up dump. I mean, that was like classic. And honestly, in that sort of case, dude, Caitlin's responsible for that, and she deserves to get sued for that, because that is literally, that was a pump and dump. She may have got manipulated into doing it or placing that ad, or maybe that other dude put that tweet out, but that's a straight up scam, and didn't like to see that, and a lot of people got hurt from that for sure.
A lot of people. At this point, there was like a tweet that I saw yesterday from DGen News where it was like it had Caitlyn Jenner and Iggy Azalea both like quote tweeting like ridiculous shit. And I'm just like, is this bullish or bearish for meme coins? Right? It's just turning into a giant psyop. I mean, it's not a game that I'm playing in. Even though I've only dabbled with it a few times, I become more disinterested in it by the day, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just becoming more violent pumps and more violent dumps at that point in time. I mean, if you like gambling, right? I guess if you wanted to go super high, you're going to take more risk, but
you realize you are the exit liquidity, right? That's for almost sure. But part of me is like, what I think the general idea is that we don't like when it's manipulated and there's scam behind it. So the idea with, oh, is she launching a second token? Okay, if she's launching a second token, she's launching a second token. But the idea is, no, it was some group of dudes who had the entire supply and then just sold it all to us. Like, nobody wants that. Like, that's garbage. But in the same way, like we've talked about with Brett, Brett was completely owned by, the devs who launched it, but they manipulated that supply to $7 billion. Right. So I'm actually starting to question, do we want full transparency or do we just want number to go up? And part of me feels like we just want number to go up. Like, nobody would have cared if Brett, rose to $100 million. Right. It's that they were just dumping and taking money for themselves. That's when it gets, I don't know. It's something we can talk about because it's kind of a fascinating topic.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone always wants number to go up. And by the post that I was seeing yesterday from As Jenner, I think the token name was Jenner, it kept going up and people knew that it was a scam. You still see people making calls saying it's time to get in. And it makes me wonder how many other people are a part of all of these psyops, right? Because this guy Sahil, who's basically being the white glove service between celebrity and meme coin launch, right? This person obviously has to be interacting with other people. They went on Spaces, right? So were the people who are hosting Spaces, were they in on it? Because I still see them posting about it.
Yeah.
And the people who are hosting the Spaces also does not have a clear pass as a very murky pass.
I mean, there's very little. I have very little question that second token. I mean, all things point to those dudes being that second token. All things point to that, and it's really unfortunate, that it's just like a pure suck of 700 grand.
This is what Gary Gensler and the SEC should be.
Dude, that's absolutely, bro.
That's what you should be protecting from.
100%. Like, those dudes should go to jail. Period. Full stop. That's it.
Granted, Gary has the protections he has done has been against actually celebrity endorsements. I think he sued Mayweather, I think, and Kim Kardashian, a few others. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, to me, it's probably going to be more violent as it goes, since we're kind of probably in the middle of the bull market. And as you know, once you get towards kind of the peak of the bull market, that's where everything is extremely volatile. I think this cycle, because we have Twitter Spaces and because there's more people on Twitter, there's more freedoms that you can say.
Totally.
I think that the psyops and the marketing around the memes is only going to get worse or better, I guess, depending on if you want to trade volatility or not, right? If you trade volatility, then that's you probably like this, right? But if you go into an investment and you don't and there's a handful of variables that you pay attention to, and you want some clarity, like it's not going to be. It's only going to be more.
I mean, I've never seen more confusion on the timeline, ever. Like, ever. Nobody knew what was happening. I mean, and that price went up to like 25 million or something, and then dumped all the way down to like, she released the second or third video. I can't even remember. And people were like, fake, look at the eyebrows, you know? And I'm like, but wait a minute. I'm familiar with TikTok and TikTok Live. And I know that happens all the time in filters. Right. So yeah, it was full on confusion. It was wild, man. Completely.
And ruin your reputation to the crypto industry that's going to be taking over the world, right? It was a big week for crypto over the weekend. We'll get into that, but yesterday we were on, myself and Adam and Coin Artist. We were on the Ordinal show yesterday talking about Emblem's first Bitcoin vault. That was fun. That was a fun conversation. You know, after that show yesterday, the bid went from 7K. I think it's well over 20K now.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of attention on Coin Artist Bitcoin Puzzle. So Emblem, we deployed two things for the first time. A vault on Bitcoin. And then we also launched our first ever time-locked vault. And so what's a time-locked vault? Is basically you could just tie the release of an asset inside of an ordinal to a block height, and or you could do the world clock as well. Here, there's a certain block height that was chosen that Coin Artist did that releases the Bitcoin as people could figure it out, and it has to deal with a certain block height. So we'll be able to bring those time lock vaults. I'm most excited for. I posted about this yesterday, and I'll talk about it on our town hall on Thursday. Some of the cool use cases there, but everything from, you know, liquid staking to gaming to futures products to token investing. There's a lot of to gaming, right? That's essentially what puzzles are. A lot of fun and exciting opportunities there. And on Thursday, we will be holding our town hall, so we'll be giving some updates on Emblem markets, Emblem finance, and all of that fun stuff. So stay tuned for that. But over the weekend, crypto hit a big wave, the red wave, the Trump wave, right? Coming back and supporting Bitcoin. Even today, I just saw that he's working with Bitcoin Magazine. He's working with David Bailey on some economic policy. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I love the headline: Trump working with Bitcoin Magazine for economic policy. Adam, what's your take on Trump throwing basically his whole entire support through crypto on multiple occasions? So on that first on the NFT, I guess it was the meetup at the Mar-a-Lago, right? That was when Malcolm came in, and then he doubled down on it at the Libertarian Party.
Yep.
And afterwards, Trump did a interview with Tim Pool. If you're familiar with who Tim Pool is.
Yep.
Did you watch that one too? And he tripled down.
I saw it though. Yeah.
He tripled down in that interview. And then today comes out and says that he's working with David Bailey and Bitcoin Magazine on some economic policy. What are your thoughts on it all?
I think Trump's smart, right? He sees something that works and he just triples down on it. Like, this is like quite genius, you know? I mean, he couldn't have predicted, you know, that Malcolm's thing would go completely viral on Twitter, right? And so I think he's just leaning in. And look, for us in the crypto space, this is like finally got some breathing room as far as the US government goes. Some like positive motion for the first time in like years. So yeah, I think it's just extremely bullish. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, it's just, we all recognize the missed opportunity back in, you know, 2014 and 15. The US government completely fumbled the ball. Like, if they had just done what, you know, I don't know, Switzerland did or wherever, you know, the Ethereum Foundation set up, if they had just done that, the US could be the completely dominant leader in the entire crypto space, like could be owning crypto right now. Didn't, and fumbled that bag. And, you know, now crypto is kind of dispersed globally, but that doesn't mean it still doesn't have an opportunity. Like, if Trump came in and did something really, leaned in and did something really impactful, like the US could completely own crypto. I hope that happens. It'd be amazing. I don't think it will, but hopefully we get to some middle ground where it's at least like, you're not looked at as a criminal if you're, you know, own a crypto company. You know,
Do you think Trump actually understands crypto, or do you think he's just
not at
following
all.
the advice of his team?
I think he's just leaning into it. I think he's just using it as a tool. I don't think he has any idea. He just sees an opportunity like he did with the, doing the NFTs, and he leans in. You know, I don't expect nobody's my people in my family don't even understand crypto. So I don't expect him to understand crypto. I just, want him to be open to crypto. And it seems like he is. So that's awesome.
Okay, here I got a question, and then I'll present my take. So Trump inscribed, I believe, like 170 ordinals, right, for his card collection.
Bro.
Casey's inscribed 1,000 fun collection, which has a higher floor. Casey's fun collection, Trump's 200 ordinals.
Bro, I've been calling it for like months now. I expect Trump to launch a meme coin, and I think it's going to be the biggest meme coin in the world. I think it's going to be the biggest meme coin in the world. It would be so Trumpish, man. If he just launched a meme coin, bro, can you imagine if he launched a Solana meme coin? It would be $1 billion in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I honestly think he might do it. I think he might do it. That's how crazy this is getting. And so I don't know about the ordinal collection. Maybe that ties in somehow. But I kind of feel like he's going to do either a Rune or my gut says a Solana, where he'll just launch a Solana coin. Can you imagine, dude? Can you fucking imagine?
I can imagine. I don't think it happens, though.
Maybe not. Maybe it's too far on that line. It's right on that line. Can you launch this? I don't know. But if he did, holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's pretty smart about how to market his likeness and his brand, right? And licenses out the cards, the Trump cards, the NFTs did really well, and I think it actually helped propel him.
Yep.
I guess it depends on who's advising him, who he's listening to most. To me, it seemed like Vivek is the one who is in his ear the most about it, and Vivek understands crypto to a pretty large degree. I mean, he is GCR at the end of the day, right? You heard that rumor,
I
right?
did.
That everyone thinks that GCR is Vivek, which there are some parallels to it, but he's doing well. I do find it interesting of people still coming out who, if you're in crypto, you're probably a one policy voter at this point in time. And until anything changes, it seems like you have to put your full backing to Trump, or else you're just voting against your own
Sure.
your own your own freedom or rights to work in the crypto industry, because one side is vehemently against it and one side is just openly supporting it. Again, right, it's not until the other party's elected to see in practice what actually happens there. But it's looking good. I mean, you had the SIB 21 was repealed, right? That was the banking that was the banking policy where U.S. banks weren't allowed to be a custodian for crypto assets.
Yep.
So that was repealed. Then you had the what was the other one? FIL.
Right.
Which one?
The CBDC, where they were basically banning. I think it got passed, but it's still got to go through.
Yeah. So the CBDC ban by Tom Emmers, that bill to ban the creation of a CBDC unless there is what was the thing? There was like
unless you want to.
Yeah, it was like unless you have to go to Congress. There was like a few stipulations inside of it, and then you also had, right, the Ethereum ETF is approved, although that'll probably take 2, 3, 4 months before it's actually trading. And then there was like one other bill. So there's been a ton of them that have just been coming down the pipeline. So pretty exciting there, to say the least. I think it's pretty bullish. The one thing that stuck out to me of the entire weekend in terms of just policy was Trump acknowledging 50 million holders, or 50 million crypto holders in the United States. He said 50 American holders. That stuck out to me the most of anything, because to me that just shows that they see it as a gigantic vote swing.
Yeah.
They're saying it crypto people as either one policy voter or swing voters. And so they're trying to swing that. And if you're And if it's 50 million people, right, that's literally a seventh of the entire US population that can swing everything. What's that, Basil or Basel?
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? Like, very interesting discussion. I think like this, I'm not gonna call this bull market, but this upcoming period would be very, very interesting because, like in the past period, the last bull market was also almost synced up with the elections. The thing is, there wasn't that much talk, there wasn't that much highlight to the cryptocurrency or policies regarding to it. But right now they are very vocal, and it feels like we as crypto people, or at least the 50 million crypto users in the US, they feel for me like the child of a divorced family that both of the parents are trying to fight and to get their attention, or they are just like a liberal wing, like we are just a liberal wing but a very powerful one, and both of them are going to fight to get us. So before they made a Trump NFT, and now and before there wasn't that much talk about crypto, but now what could happen, like it's going to be very exciting to see.
I think the reason why this cycle feels so strange is because of Twitter Spaces, because of this. Yeah. Because you get to have direct conversations on demand 24 hours. And it was not like this. I mean, this is going into my third cycle now. In the 8 years that I've been here, the consistent conversation, I think, is directly related to the rise of meme coins, because you get to sit there and chill whatever token that you're doing, because basically what meme coins are, it's just on-chain assets with like off-chain promises or off-chain jokes or whatever, off-chain shenanigans, I guess is like the best way to put it. And so we get to sit here and debate the entire time about what's the legitimacy of this meme coin, who's a scammer, right? And it feeds both ways, because it's almost like some spaces can sit here and be kind of very similar to kind of TMZ, right? I would say like thread guy spaces are very similar to like a TMZ, old school MTV, VH1 kind of style shows. And then you have Mario spaces, right, that are more focused towards like the hardcore, political supporters and policy kind of goers.
Yep.
And so you get this blend of variety of conversations, and it makes it feel like it's so much more chaotic. And I think it's also directly it's directly related to a lot of these pumps. Is you could sit there and people just have just a huge craving of FOMO.
Yep. And
so I think Spaces really has to do that. That's why I don't think anyone's ever going to leave Twitter. As much as Farcaster and all these other ones pop up, Friendtech, it's really hard to replace 15 years of culture being built on this platform.
Totally.
Very, very, very tough.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it a little bit last cycle with Clubhouse, when Clubhouse kind of popped off, but it was a disconnect, right? It was a disconnect between Clubhouse and Twitter, and that's why Twitter Spaces immediately, when they got it working, it was Clubhouse was dead, right? Like, why would you leave? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Basil.
There was a very interesting point that Elon he tried to how do you call it? Like, he tried to condition us to using Twitter, and this is an actual method of secondary. How do you call it? Not secondary. It's called positive reinforcement, or you call it secondary conditioning. It's the same as the Pavlov experiment, but in a different way. It's called positive reinforcement, and he made sure that he reinforces our behavior to come back and do spaces because we're having good experiences with it. And also, why is this important? Because those Twitter spaces, they are like a middle stage between normal social interaction and the interaction we have on the internet. Here, you feel like it's a in between level where people feel very comfortable to talk about stuff, but not very vulnerable to be judged and so on sometimes. So everyone here shares freely. You are connecting with people based on ideas, not their ideas, their talks, not based on how they look and so on. So this is a very new way of interaction. That's why it's been very helpful in Web3.
Totally.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's only going to get a little bit crazier from here. Satoshi is, I don't know if it was done intentionally or not, but Satoshi is a very smart person for putting the Bitcoin halving, in the same year as the U.S. presidential election. I don't know if that was purposely done or not, but it is very cyclical. Chris, I do want to get your take on the craziness of the weekend, from the Solana meme coins to Trump's insane backing or just full commitment to the crypto industry. What's your take on all of it?
What in the world is going on around here? What is going on? We have such a disconnect between the actual progress that's finally being made in the industry and just meme coins that's just front and center and completely just devastating every single aspect of the entire industry. I mean, we have Adam talking about meme coins every single day. Went from sound money proponents to meme coin connoisseurs. We're like the last ones that have fallen. Like, there is nobody left. Everybody just does meme coins in this industry. Yep. It's really a sight to see. I did post a video up top of an old video of Trump actually being aware of at least human action of the Austrian school. So I don't think that it's very far-fetched that he would actually understand Bitcoin from a conceptual level. This was, I don't know, the video must be from the 90s, maybe the 80s. So he's at least, familiar with the Austrian school, knows about sound money principles, kind of understands money from a really deep ideological perspective, and he understands financing. So I don't really think that it's too far-fetched that he actually understands crypto from a really kind of, broad perspective. And, we've kind of just wished for this regulatory environment since inception. We've never had a friendly environment ever in this industry. And, crypto, the US houses more crypto than anywhere else in the world. I was just in Dallas. All the biggest mining facilities are now in Dallas, Texas. So no one is set up to, be, really take control of the 21st century and forward finance like the US. Even though it seems like we are kind of backwards in our policies and everything like that, super turbulent, we're actually the best setup out of anywhere else in the entire world. And so just kind of being in this moment, this last week was like extremely surreal, to be honest.
Yeah.
To hear politicians really kind of come out and, make our voice heard for the first time ever after so many years. It's just like really incredible to see. Free Ross was just an incredible movement that actually might have some traction, and so many terrible takes on the timeline.
Totally, man.
People just like literally exercising their right to vote for a candidate that supports their ideals. And that's exactly what votership is supposed to do. You're supposed to support your ideals. Like, what are these people talking about? It is like so bizarre that people would rather even attempt to vote for an administration that has been openly hostile.
Yeah.
Compared to say that maybe an incoming administration might not fulfill all of their promises. Like, it's night and day at which you would prefer to have. And there's just like so many awful takes on how elections work in the United States. I literally don't think anyone understands it.
I don't know if it's all just like just farming, people trying to go for so much of it is just people trying to be like, get engagement on the timeline. I often just say, oh, this is just engagement, man. How could this person think this? I don't know.
It must be, but a lot of these people are from Canada or the UK or something like that. And I'm like, how do you have such a perspective on US politics when you're not even from the country? But really bizarre, but just super honestly grateful, and a surreal week for, I think, all of us that are like truly, fans of decentralized systems and kind of sound money principles. And I don't know, we finally had our voice heard. So I think it's an incredible win for the industry. And I think this, we're gearing up for the banana zone, boys.
I mean, anybody who doesn't understand, we are in the middle of a bull run right now. Just to clarify, this is a bull run. This is what a bull run
is. What is the banana zone?
Banana zone. We are in the banana zone.
We might be at the bottom of the banana, and the banana is going to go up. But yeah, we're in it, bro, right now.
Yeah, we're probably a little bit past halftime, to be honest.
Really? Halftime? No, come on, man. We're at the first inning, man. First inning, halftime.
So we'll go into this discussion next. Nifty has had he or she has had their hand up for a while, so we're gonna go to Nifty and then we'll continue on this conversation.
I just wanted to say, I think yesterday when I heard you guys on the Ordinate show, I think the Emblem vault is really, really cool innovation. But yeah, I just wanted to, I think it's really, I mean, I just got so confused by how the fuck, I was just thinking that how can this even, make it work? But it's really, really so cool.
Yeah, here I'll try to explain it. I'll give a little bit of background detail because Emblem Vault really is kind of its own thing. So our founder Shannon Code, he was a builder. He was a developer at Mastercoin in 2013. So he was actually on the first. He was on the team of the first ever Bitcoin protocol. So he's been building on Bitcoin for over 10 years. So that's where the connection between him and Marguerite, Corn Artist, came. They've been in the same space for quite a long time. Emblem Vault's an interoperability protocol. So you'd think of it in a similar fashion as what bridges are or wrapped assets. Emblem has its own kind of backend infrastructure. So any type of token can be added to Emblem Vault's ecosystem, whether that's an ordinal or an ERC20, an ERC721, SPL20, XYZ, BRC20, BRC404, whatever it is, as long as it's a tokenized asset, it can be added to Emblem's network. So Emblem right now offers ERC721 and ERC1155 contracts that it can be deployed as. There's teams who are using our SDK to build ERC20 bridges, or I guess you'd call them ERC20 vaults. I think they call it like televaults or something like that. So there's a lot of different experimentation, and it's just a different way to move assets across chain. And Emblem's I guess its major use case right now has been for moving Bitcoin NFTs to Ethereum and Namecoin NFTs and Dogecoin NFTs and all these like UTXO based NFTs. Now we found a way with our new system, Emblem 2.0, which we'll talk about on Thursday for our town hall, to add all types of assets. It could be EVM, SVM, UTXO, XYZ. It doesn't matter. It could be added to it. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, I think this concept, I'm just super surprised that, you guys could even think of this. But I really think that this is definitely a technology of the future. And, I think in the, maybe in the version 2, we can have something like, time locked or something like that.
Yep.
Something like that would be cool.
Yeah, so time locked is one of I pinned my post to the top. Time locked vaults is something I've been extremely bullish on since I joined the team, since I found out we were capable of doing that. It unlocks a handful of insane products that you can launch. Two kind of unique ones. One is kind of liquid staking vaults, where if you're in like the restaking kind of area, or if you're familiar with MakerDAO, time lock liquid staking vaults would be great because you could take like LP tokens and put them in a vault and time lock it. So let's say you add LP to XYZ meme coin. You could basically put it in a vault and then borrow against that LP that's generating yield for XYZ amount of time. You could do things like futures contracts where, let's say we create a Bitcoin collection, like a Bitcoin ERC721 collection, and you make those time locked. You could basically are creating on-chain futures products, because if I put a Bitcoin in a vault and time lock it for a year, you could trade that vault with the Bitcoin in it, and you're basically creating futures contracts. And so Marguerite with Coin Artist wanted to use this for her puzzles. And so I don't want to give away a lot of the details, but basically there's a time lock inside of the Bitcoin ordinal that holds the Bitcoin and maybe some other assets that is released at a certain block height that is tied to the puzzle that she's created. So I know it sounds a little bit vague, but I don't want to kind of ruin all of it.
And what's the puzzle like, What's the puzzle like?
Yeah. So
puzzles like you got to figure it out yourself, right? It's like she can't give away doesn't want to give away too much, right? You got to kind of figure it out.
She mentioned an important information. You cannot use AI. There's a human involvement that should be involved in the puzzles in order to solve them. So AI wouldn't work. But I remember yesterday she said something about that someone actually used a script to crack her puzzles sometime, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so Marguerite, she's been doing these puzzles since 2014. So she was kind of one of the very early pioneers to doing anything, literally anything on Bitcoin. There's maybe 10 to 20 different people from around 2014, from even kind of before Counterparty was even created, who were trying to figure out different ways to build on Bitcoin. It's kind of like the renaissance of meta protocols on Bitcoin right now. Back in 2013 to 2015, people were building their own protocols trying to do the same thing, right? You had like Vogler and Coin Artist, and then you had Counterparty and Mastercoin. And so this is kind of like the next vision of it. But they had to build their own products.
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Cycles, they come around and around, man. I mean, anybody, guys, if you want to know what could be next in blockchain, just start looking past what happened in 2012, 13, 14. I mean, like, I'm convinced the next big thing in our space has already been done.
Yep.
It'll just be done in a new way that the market's going to love. It's
always what it is.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
The
ideas are all out there.
Yeah, exciting times. So yeah, if you guys are interested in the time lock vaults or Bitcoin vaults, we have our monthly town hall on Thursday. I've created a nice little PowerPoint, and we'll be going over all of that, inclusive of how that all integrates into our ecosystem. Another hot topic I want to move over to, which is still kind of related to macro, the Mt. Gox Bitcoins are on the move. I don't know if you saw this yesterday. Yep. I believe it's like close to 180,000 Bitcoin are going to be redistributed. There's a handful of ways that this could go. The market obviously started selling off. Mark Carpellas actually came out and tweeted. That was the first time I've seen him tweet in a long time. He said that they're being redistributed to different wallets, which will be redistributed to all of the owners. I would assume that it got spread to about 10 different wallets from what I saw, and all of those Bitcoin. Yeah. I'd assume that's probably geographic area where they're sending it to whatever regulatory area, whether it's the US or Asia or whatever. And then they'll redistribute it that way, would probably be how I do it. I don't know. I'm not an expert in bankruptcy policy though. So
certainly it's taken long enough. God dang, man.
And 11 years, 11 years at this point. Yeah. And so my question is, so Carpellas came out and he said that these tokens are not for sale, they're for redistribution, or distribution is what he said. My question here is, first is, how many of these Bitcoin ends up in an ETF? How many of these Bitcoin, everyone's fearful, right? Because the market started selling off. So like, 180,000 Bitcoin are going to hit the market. My thought is BlackRock's just going to buy all of these. That's kind of what what I'm thinking. I mean, BlackRock's been buying a bunch of them. You have other ETF issuers. You now have sovereign nations. There's rumors of nations that are acquiring Bitcoin.
Yep.
These 180,000 to me is not for retail. These are basically going to probably be bought up by sovereign nations, ETF issuers, corporations, etc. Adam, when you saw this yesterday, what were your first thoughts about the 180,000 Bitcoin being distributed?
I actually, along with you, this is not going to be retail. I mean, some will get dumped, but the vast majority of people had opportunities to basically sell out their claim on this to other people, and most people did. And so what you have is just whales who know what they have here and probably aren't going to be selling anytime soon. I forget the name of the guy, the Wall Street guy, who was a big buyer of this. Do you remember his name? Shoot, I'm not remembering right now. Anyway, when I was at the round table in Dubai,
are you talking about Peter Thiel?
No, I'll remember it in a minute. But his company was one of the big buyers of this. And when we sat and talked with him,
it's the guy with the eyebrows.
The eyebrow dude, exactly, dude. The eyebrow dude. Yeah, the eyebrow dude. He knows it. Rooney, thank you, man. Anybody remember the eyebrow dude's name? Just chime in. But his whole talking point and trying to figure out was how could he invest and earn money on his Bitcoins while still retaining full ownership of his Bitcoins. That was his entire, like, guys, help me figure this out. So I don't think those Bitcoins are going anywhere. They're not going to be spent. He's a diamond hand holder, big believer in Bitcoin. They're going to, that's a huge chunk of those Bitcoin are his. So no, I think they're not going to be retail. I mean, some may be, but the vast majority, these people have held for a decade. They're just going to keep holding.
Forced hold. Also, you have to think about it. They had 10 years to sell these tickets. And a lot of those people who lost their coins in Mt. Gox are still in the industry today.
Really?
And a lot of them are still wealthy. They ended up running it back. I mean, you have some of the like 2013 OGs like Kobe and forget who else. I think like Path was part of this. Like a lot of these crypto OGs that are still around today were part of that. So what are they going to do with it? I would assume probably just hold, or are they just going to buy our ordinal bags? I think is like is like the pipe dream, right? It's possible. I mean, you think about that, right? It's like equivalent of $11 billion that that value is worth. Even if you get 0.1% of that, what is that? $10 million, $100 million. That could literally push every single ordinal floor up like 10.
Well, we're in the discussions now happening. Are ordinals gonna have they already sped run the ETH NFT narrative, and now they're just on the drive to zero. So it's one of those interesting things.
It's Tim Draper.
I was just literally looking. I was typing it into my my Google search. Yeah, Tim Draper.
Google, it doesn't come up with guy with eyebrows. He doesn't come up.
But you got to put in Bitcoin Wealth Manager eyebrows. There you go. Tim Draper. Yeah, that's the dude.
How funny. Yeah, we'll be watching pretty closely. Again, I think most of this just ends up in the ETFs and all these ETFs at some point in time.
I think they're working on a government program because they're forgiving all the student loans. They're just going to buy your bags.
It's the NFT relief fund where they buy your old NFTs, right?
Oh, I can't wait. I've made many bad decisions.
Wait, let's go to Rooney's for our Hooked on Rooney's market update. What's the current state of Rooney's affairs?
Well, as always, we pumping.
Wait, are you? Should we call this time in the show the March to a Billy? Is that what's happening with the Roonies?
What's the market? What's the market cap of Roonies now?
It's more than 20K.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let me look. I don't. It's one of them things that I just feel like it's going to happen organically. The more I check on it, the further down it goes. I don't look all that often. Let's look. Over the long weekend, we pushing 1.5 million.
Really? Oh my God! My heavy Rooney bags are getting heavier. No way.
They're getting a little heavy, but we had a little correction. That's all right.
Down to 25K. It's down to 25K.
It's not. But bigger picture. It's just going to take a little time, and then we going to 50, easy.
50K.
No. Much higher. Because just poor pains aren't going to fix themselves.
That's
true. And I don't need to jump on it. We don't need to talk about Rooney's market all the time.
Rooney's, you're doing a good job, Rooney's. You're doing a good job. I see a lot more posts on the timeline. So good.
I think it's happening. We're gonna get it. I posted.
The most ridiculous outcome is the most likely, and I think there's no that Rooney's hits a $2 billion market cap is the most ridiculous thing of all time. So why not? Let's make it happen.
Well, I don't agree. I feel it's not ridiculous for people to want to say goodbye to them poor pains. That's a very realistic goal that everybody has, especially in this space, because this space is thick.
All right, Adam, I'm gonna present a question to you. Do we stick with macro or do we go to some of the smaller Bitcoin ordinal ecosystem?
Let's go smaller. What do we got?
All right, let's see. So today, I saw that there is the BRC20 swap module is now open source. I found this to be somewhat interesting. Not because the module is open source now, but just the strong manning of Unisat to Domo and the BRC20 protocol of them basically just commandeering it and taking it over and forcing whatever they need for their platform to survive. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But
wait, give me some like background so I understand.
I don't know if you remember it. So the the background story is, I think this was towards the end of last year. BRC20 was stuck at, or Domo had ordered or basically requested that nobody pushes BRC20 past ORD 0.9, I think is what it was, because Casey was building in a way that it would basically eliminate a lot of or it would cause more issues with how BRC20 works. Eventually, Unisat came out and they offered a handful of different things that they wanted to do, because I think they want to focus on gaming. And they also had this BRC20 swap module. And Unisat basically came out and said that fuck what Domo says. We're going to upgrade this anyway with what's the equivalent of ORD core at the time. I think it was like 0.14 or something like that. And this put Domo in a pretty tough situation because all the BRC20 volume was on Unisat. And so they came to an agreement at some point thereafter. I forget, maybe this is the beginning of this year. And they both mutually agreed on to upgrade the BRC20 protocol in line with where the ORD client was. And now they've done a few additional implementations or additions to the BRC20 protocol. They did 5 tickers. I think they added a burning function, and there was like one other upgrade. And now today, they announced that the BRC20 swap module, which is what Unisat had built, is now open source. So this is from the Layer 1 Foundation. So this is from the horse's mouth. In coordination with Domo and BRC20 lead maintainers Unisat and Best in Slot, the Layer 1 Foundation is excited to share open source code for its proposed swap module integration into the BRC20 token standard. Layer 1 Foundation will collect and review feedback for this code in the next 4 weeks to ensure its readiness for introduction into the standard. So what this tells me here, so Domo is the creator of BRC20. You have Unisat, who's the marketplace, and Best in Slot and Binari is the lead designer behind BRC20 2.0. So these 3 parties are all working in unison to get BRC20 2.0 to probably compete with Runes in some capacity. I do think they will actually have a pretty they will probably make up some ground on Runes, but they are going in a different direction. I haven't talked with them in a little while, but last time Binari was on a Spaces talking about it, he was discussing how they were going to add EVM capabilities inside of BRC20 somehow. How they're doing that, I have no fucking idea, but I do think that that's the smart direction, because I don't think you could compete with Runes directly mano a mano on just a pure kind of transactional base. I think you need to add some sort of functionality that Runes cannot adopt. And with Runes, right, being created by Casey, he would never add EVM or any of these kind of smart contract capabilities. He wants to keep the Runes code very tight and neat, which I believe he said is like around 200 lines of code. And so in this direction, now we're in Runes, or we're in Ordinals almost a year and a half later. And the majority of these products that we talk, the majority of these like Ordinal DeFi protocols are all using EVM or SVM in the background, or they're using an off-chain indexer. So I think the entire community is agreed on that you just cannot do anything completely on-chain, and there has to be some sort of off-chain component, whether the off-chain is using your own indexer or your own server, or off-chain as in using another blockchain, right? Because something on Ethereum is off-chain to Bitcoin because blockchains do not recognize each other. They're not aware that other blockchains exist. So I think this announcement today seems somewhat bullish. I mean, at least all 3 of the lead maintainers are working in unison to compete against BRC20.
What would be the reason to release this, the swap module? Like, who's going to be using this, do you think?
So with the swap module, I don't know if you remember when they created it, it was what they called I think it was a black module where you can only deposit into the swap module, but you couldn't withdraw. So there's probably millions of dollars stuck in the swap module still. I think there's a lot of sats, like the BRC20 sats. I know the BRC20 rats and honk, and there's like a few other ones that have just been and already just stuck in there in perpetuity for probably close to a year at this point.
Wow.
And so them open sourcing it is the next step into being able to withdraw those funds from this module. So there's going to be 4 weeks, it looks like, to review this. But at the end of the day, Runes doesn't have a swap, right? So this is, if they can get this done.
So the idea is like make it public, and then maybe people will build around it. Obviously, Unisat wants to build around it, but basically trying to open up the marketplace a little bit here.
Yeah, trying to open up. I think also trying to just beat Runes to the punch. You have, right, like Omnisat still hasn't put out something past testnet. You do have DotSwap. That's done. They have a BRC20 and a Runes swap module, although they haven't received that much adoption yet or attention, even though they do have a product. And there's a handful of other Runes swap and AMMs tools that are reportedly being worked on, but haven't made it to the market yet. So I think this is bullish for BRC20. I think BRC20 2.0 will compete with Runes, but probably in a different type of capacity than just straight up meme coin trading or whatever the utility is. So I think that's something to pay attention to as the industry continues to grow. Another thing that I need to hear straight from the camel's mouth is Adam's thoughts on Nook finally minting out. And I saw rumors of Bell's Coin 3.0 coming pretty soon, from what I read.
Tech is hard, bro. That's all I can say. Tech is hard. I mean, look, the dev who's working on 3.0, it's like it's at that point now where it's like kind of at any day now, right? So it's just kind of getting it over the finish line. But the main thing is that, Nook minted out. I mean, how crazy is that? 100 million mints or 100 million inscriptions. Just literally bonkers. And here it is. We got here with that limping junk ass blockchain, bro. The blockchain just like stopping, not working, but it got through, man. 100%. I don't even know how much I had. I actually tried to like get on Ordinal's wallet and like, how do I split this up? Tried to get it like, what can I put them for sale? Tried to figure that out, bro. Just like still not really working, It's like I put in the inscription order to get it so I could sell one. Bro, it's like a day later, it's still like pending, So shit's still fucked up. Totally fucked up still, but hopefully within a week or so, we'll have 3.0 kind of released. When it will be like fully accepted by miners and stuff, that takes some time and it's going to have to be worked through. But hopefully it does get released in the next week or so, the 3.0.
Interesting. And so on this slide that I have here pulled up, it says Bell 3.0 core update this week, but merge mining will likely fully function during the next 2 to 3 weeks. The Nintendo Bell 20 Bellinol's marketplace coming in June. So some competition for Ordinal's wallet, because there's no other marketplace. Artist onboarding platform this week, and then more collaborations, listings, and events. Do you have any more comments on any of those other details?
Well, I think the idea with the marketplace, I mean, obviously Ordinal's wallet is, the leader for now. I think the idea is that, this team that wants to do another marketplace, they want to, obviously if you can be the winner in a space, that's where the money is, right? These marketplaces, if you hit a home run and the space grows, these marketplaces are real. It can really generate some significant revenue. Obviously it doesn't matter if there's no like community and there are no people buying and selling, right? So I'm always psyched to have more people building on Bell's Coin, because I think it's like, bro, we need people to actually be doing stuff, right? None of this marketplaces, nobody's going to give a crap if we're not doing some interesting stuff. Like we've talked about before. I think, I'm hopeful, and I'm kind of starting the conversations now with kind of developers, builder, artists. Like, how can we do something that's really, pushes something beyond what we're already seeing? Like, not just do, BRC 20s again. Like we've done it. Like, dude, we have 100 million inscriptions. I don't even know. Like, Dogecoin probably has more, right? But like, there's a real possibility we're the #1 inscription blockchain on Earth. Who the fuck's gonna give a shit? Like, I don't know. We need to do something interesting around it. Can we do something that's not just a copy pasta something that actually pushes the envelope, does something different. If anybody has ideas about doing something different, DM me. Let's figure something out. Let's do something fucking crazy. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to do something fucking crazy where people are like, fuck, Bell's Coin. Let's fucking do some crazy shit on Bell's Coin.
Jake, I think we have a call in 1 hour. Talk about. I will tell you what we're working on.
Well, dude, this is Adam. So hit me up. I'm raising my hand right now. I'm talking through Jake's mic, but send me a DM. Tell me what you want to do. And I'm here to support it, man. Let's build some crazy shit on Bell's Coin.
There we go. Yeah, I think probably one of the most egalitarian blockchains that you could have. Pretty fair release outside of Adam mining 50% of the supply.
I have all the supply. All the Bell's coins are mine.
One thing that's a little terrifying, though, I would want to note. I think Nook has probably the worst distribution I've ever seen.
Oh, really? Show me the.
It says 1,800 holders for 100 million mints.
Oh yeah.
That is like a 0.00001% or something. Either
Well,
that or somebody who just.
The way I look at that is, I'm sure the ordinal wallet guys probably have 50% of the supply, right?
Yeah,
they probably have a ton. It's
and Graham
possible
has
that Graham Bell probably has 10% or 20% of the supply. I don't know. No doubt. I have zero doubt about that. Zero doubt. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not saying go buy Nook by any means. Like, yeah, it might be the worst distribution ever. Very possible. Which, I mean, we talked about the moment it launched. Like, hey, are these ordinal wallet guys just going to take most of the supply for themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Completely possible. Yep. Totally.
We'll go to Big Chief and then DeFi.
Hey, I was just wondering, you guys are going to be merge mined with Dogecoin, but is it going to be merge mined with Litecoin as well?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Litecoin. Is probably what it's going to be merge mined with. Yep.
Okay, so Litecoin miners will receive Litecoin rewards, Dogecoin rewards, and Bell's Coin rewards.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So,
awesome.
disclosure, I'm going to meet with Bitmain. Bitmain is like basically the world's largest manufacturer of mining equipment. They're paying for me to go up to Austin for Consensus. I'm going to Consensus. They're paying for actually myself, Luke, and a couple other people from the Bell's Coin community to go up to Austin to meet with them. Obviously it's great to have them on board, and obviously they want to sell miners. Whether we can help them sell miners, I'm hopeful. We want Bell's Coin chain to live on, and so part of that is being integrated in the mining community. So I know they're not doing it out of the kindness of their heart. They want to make money, right? And so getting miners attracted to this idea of like, hey, you're going to be able to mine all these chains at the same time is obviously is huge. And so going to be up in Austin. If anybody's in Austin,
DeFi's in Austin.
Oh, awesome, bro. Yeah, we can meet up and hang. And yeah, so that's where it kind of is. And so, yeah, from a mining perspective, Bell's Coin, like right now, whatever Bell's Coin, I think it touched 20 cents again. We're back down to the lowest. I say drive it to a penny, man. Drive this shit to a penny. Bell's Coin's worthless right now. Okay. So drive it to a penny. Everybody can load up their Bell's Coin bags. I don't want to hear. This is what I don't want to hear. In a fucking year when Bell's Coin's at fucking $5, I don't want to hear any bitching on Spaces that you didn't have time to accumulate. You had time to accumulate when it was fucking pennies. So, not financial advice, though. It may be worthless. But
and you can get these by playing Animal Crossing.
Playing Animal Crossing, get the Bells reward, man. Get the Bells rewards.
What's up, DeFi?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Dude, I just want to say congratulations once again on the BTC milestone. Like, dude, it is not easy to build. So being the people in the arena, like, to actually do these things is personally fucking a huge champion of. Like, the second thing is hitting this milestone, then, like, you guys, this is a big thing. I hope you're celebrating and have a smile on your face every fucking day. Also, I'm stoked about seeing Adam this fucking week. I know Buns was telling me we're gonna link up a little bit over here. It's going to be wild.
Are you going to the Bunzi thing on Friday?
Yeah. So we're sponsoring the Bunzi thing on Friday.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. I'll see you there then, for sure.
Yeah. We're gonna smoke some stogies, eat some barbecue, drink some beers, and if we time permitting, we can go shoot some guns.
Oh,
so
nice,
the proper Texas, welcome.
And pop Roonies.
And of course, we gotta pop them Roonies, but we'll only do that after we hydrate and we're sober. Because Roonies and guns don't mix.
Don't
right?
mix, for sure.
That's just too wild.
That's not true. You can operate the machinery. You get it.
Dude, I just want to give a shout out, give you props for that. That's awesome. I got to jump in a bit. I got to go get cleaned up, and I'm at the part of the panel. But bro, I can't wait to see you guys. Wait to see you in Austin, Jake. If you're gonna make a surprise visit, bro, you gotta come through.
Gotta come, bro.
Open arms here.
Yeah. One of these days.
Dude, shoot me a DM, by the way. Shoot me a DM so I don't forget.
I will drop you a DM right now. And here, doing it right now. DM done. Cool. But dude, see you guys later. Love the energy. Roonies, try and stay on the straight and narrow for at least this fucking Tuesday, bro. I want to make sure you're alive for tomorrow. Maybe we might see you out in consensus. If I see someone that's tripping throughout the entire space, I know it's Rooney.
Can we get some Rooney merch, bro? Can I get some Rooney merch at the consensus?
What kind of merch you're looking for, man?
I'm looking for my Rooney tent that I can pop up underneath the bridge, bro. I got Rooney tents.
Listen, we got lots of things cooking. One of them is Rooney's powder. We're gonna start shipping out some Rooney's powders. Let's fucking go.
So,
hey, actually, Jake, has anybody done the breakdown of the market cap of Nook yet? Has anybody broken down the market cap yet?
I haven't seen anything on the timeline yet. I know there were some sales, but you can't really tell what it is on Ordinal's wallet yet. Yeah. We're gonna have to wait till 3.0 probably.
It's still super clunky, man. It's terrible. And that honestly, the Ordinal wallet guys, I got nothing but love for them, but they're dealing with a crap blockchain. I mean, yes, their tech might not be up to speed yet. And yes, they may not have maintained it as well as they needed to because they're busy on other shit. But the main problem is the blockchain. The blockchain's fucked up. So, period.
So, side note here, one of the FTX executives, the first one, just got a sentencing handed down to them 30 minutes ago. Ryan Salami, 7.5 years.
Oof.
7.5 years to
wait, was he one of the guys who actually cooperated with them?
Yeah.
Wow, and still got 7.5. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't even think he took the stand. So maybe that's why he's getting more. I've been hearing Caroline Ellison and stuff will get 3-4 years, maybe just because they cooperated. But I don't think Ryan took the stand. Maybe he did. I don't really remember. But 7.5 years. So 2 more down, 2 or 3 more.
And the other dude's still on the boat, man. Every once in a while, I'll see a picture of the dude on the boat, man. It's there's the dude who got away scot-free.
That dude has resurfaced. There was a picture of him on Twitter.
Yeah. I gotta love it. What's up, Niffy? You got your hand up? You have a question?
No, I just wanted to ask, by the way, what the fuck is this Bell 20? Is this
Look up Bell's Coin. Bell's Coin.
All right, Bell's Coin's a blockchain we brought back, and the Bell 20 were the they were the inscriptions on that blockchain, and so it just minted out. The first Bell 20 was this one called Nook. That got set up with 100 million inscriptions to mint out, and it just minted out yesterday or whatever. So it took however long, 6 months to mint out. It's kind of like the Sats of Bell's Coin.
And Bell's Coin was created by Billy Marcus, who created Dogecoin. It was deployed about a week before Dogecoin, so you could call it Dogecoin's big brother since it's by the same creator.
And when you're done doing that search, do a search for Bell Ends.
What's that?
Look it up.
I don't want to look it up. I'm gonna get some nastiness that I don't want to see, dude.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to wait until
the bell end. You don't know what the bell end is?
No, I don't want to know, bro. I don't want to know.
We're gonna have to wait until runes come to Bell's coin, so then we could get hooked on boonies. There we go. All right, I got one final topic for the day, which was kind of interesting, and we're gonna be having this spaces next week. The original founders of Counterparty, have created their own labs company, which I think is just this kind of standard, anyways. But it's called Unspendable Labs, founded by Adam and I forget what the other founder's name is. It says that their intention is to launch a modern suite of native tools for Counterparty ecosystem and other Bitcoin L2 protocols, including a new wallet and a block explorer. Oh my God, having a web extension wallet for Counterparty would be what do you have? And the fact that we've done this entire thing on literally a desktop wallet.
Dude, did you see that to the top comment? Did you see what that was?
No, what is that?
It was G Money. And
Oh.
G Money says, will it be open source? So good, dude. So good, man.
So 6 to 9 months. So 6 to 9 months, you'll get a wallet, a web extension wallet, and a new block explorer, which means that PSBTs are probably like a year away or so, maybe even longer. But that'll be great for the ecosystem. And what do you think about Counterparty? And also, we're having spaces with them. Was that next week?
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Counterparty.
Yeah, we're gonna have a space with them next Tuesday. Joe Looney's already confirmed. Adam's confirmed. Just gonna have a catch up.
I want to be there. I want to fucking be there, man.
Join
I
us.
can't wait to talk to those guys.
Well, they're gonna love you, bro. They're gonna love you.
They have a special announcement, I think, or a special conversation of some sort. They reach out to us. So Counterparty spaces next Tuesday. Gotta love the rare Pepes and Spells of Genesis. Tomorrow, we're actually hosting a spaces with Hex, who is the founder of Saturn Protocol. It's an order book style. It was an order book style platform to trade rare sats. It looks like now they're converting it into runes. And we're just trying to figure out what's going to be the top way to trade runes moving forward. I don't think it'll always be on Magic Eden. The spot market may be, but to get some more efficient trading, feels like it's
Binance, man.
Binance. You kicked my dog.
It'll happen, dude. I'm telling you, all it does, it just needs to it gets to $1 billion, it'll be on Binance. It just it needs to move.
Ooh, one final conversation, one final topic actually is Leo, and this was over the weekend. So Leonidas launched Runes Minting. They launched their first financial product on the platform. What's your take on Leo finally stepping into the builder game and trying to generate some revenue for this platform?
I love it. It's a good first step. The thing is, it's like, it's market timing and conditions are rough, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost, but can somebody launch a pumped up fund, something that captures the imagination? I guess we'll see. I mean, this is them starting to build, and maybe they're able to do it, right? Maybe they're able to position themselves with something that actually moves the needle as far as creativity and community goes, So this is like the first step in that. And, full disclosure, I think we're both investors in these guys, right? So full disclosure there, but, got to be bullish on Leo for sure. So,
yeah, I've definitely seen the PowerPoint, so I'm cheating. I know it's ahead. At least part of it. This was not in the PowerPoint, so they're already just building for what they want. I think it looks good. I mean, if you look at it, it says inscriptions, runes, and then there's a big giant space next to it for more tabs. So I'm assuming a lot more of this is going to come. I don't know the success of it. They definitely leaned into being able to mint 4,000 runes transactions at one time, so they're looking for some volume here. I'm not much of a degen when it comes to minting some of this stuff, at least not of recently. So we'll see where it goes, but bullish for the ecosystem regardless. I mean, it's the #1 explorer when it comes to the social aspect of discoverability for runes or for ordinals and inscriptions. So Props to Leo. And with that, I think we're going to wrap up the show today. We still have a big week. Tomorrow, again, we're hosting Hex, the founder of Saturn. We're going to come in and learn some about his order book style rune trading platform. And then on Thursday, we have our monthly town hall. We'll be covering everything from Emblem Legacy migration wrap up, Emblem Markets, our new front end, Emblem 2.0, Bitcoin vaults, a lot of stuff in the works, to say the least. I appreciate everyone for coming. If you are not familiar with our show, we host the show Tuesday through Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Adam, myself, and Chris, who are on stage, are team members of Emblem Vault, the leading cross-chain NFT protocol in the industry with over 100 million in TVV. That's total value vaulted. We will be back tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time with Hex. And until then, guys and ladies and gentlemen and everyone across the entire spectrum, save yourself, enjoy. If you're down in Austin, hit up Adam. He's going to be down there at Consensus representing Emblem Vault. So anybody who's down there, hit up Adam. And until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.